Millionaire refused to help poor nurse in the rain. 3 years later, she came back as a powerful cop. The rain fell hard that evening, turning the streets of downtown into rivers of silver and shadow. Elena Martinez stood beneath a flickering streetlight, her white nurse's uniform soaked through, her arms wrapped tightly around a newborn baby wrapped in a hospital blanket. She had just finished a 12-hour shift at St. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Mary's Hospital, delivering babies, saving lives, holding the hands of strangers in their most vulnerable moments. Now exhausted and desperate, she stood at the roadside trying to flag down any vehicle that would stop. Her car had broken down 2 miles back. Her phone battery had died, and the baby in her arms, a premature infant, she was transporting to a specialist clinic, needed warmth and shelter immediately. Every second in the cold rain was a risk to that tiny, fragile life. A black luxury SUV slowed near her, its headlights cutting through the downpour. Elena's heart lifted. She stepped forward, waving her free hand, her eyes filled with desperate hope. The window rolled down just enough to reveal a man in an expensive suit, his face smooth and untroubled, his leather seat warm and dry. His name was Richard Hargrove, one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city, known for his towers of glass and columns of profit. He looked at Elena, soaked, exhausted, holding a newborn, and without a single word, he rolled the window back up and drove away. The red tail lights disappeared into the rain like dying embers. Elena stood frozen for a moment, the cold biting into her skin, the baby whimpering softly against her chest. Then she straightened her spine, squared her shoulders, and kept walking. A kind elderly couple eventually stopped and drove her to safety. The baby survived. Elena never forgot that night. Not the cold, not the rain, but the deliberate choice one man made to look at suffering and drive away. That night planted a seed inside her, not of bitterness, but of fierce, burning determination. She had always wanted to do more, to protect people beyond the walls of a hospital. That empty, rain-soaked road made the decision for her. Elena enrolled in the police academy while still working part-time at the clinic. The training was brutal. Early mornings, physical drills, legal studies, tactical training. She pushed through every obstacle with the memory of that rainy night fueling her forward. Her colleagues admired her discipline. Her instructors called her one of the most driven recruits they had ever trained. 3 years later, Officer Elena Martinez walked into the city's most prestigious charity gala in full uniform, her badge gleaming, her posture straight and proud. She was there as part of the security detail for the event. The hall was filled with powerful people, politicians, executives, celebrities, and across the room, standing with a glass of champagne and a practiced smile, was Richard Hargrove. He noticed her almost immediately, because people like Elena command attention now, not because she demands it, but because she has earned it. He walked over, hand extended, his smile charming and rehearsed. "Officer," he said smoothly, "wonderful to see law enforcement represented here tonight." Elena shook his hand firmly and met his eyes without flinching. "Mr. Hargrove," she said calmly, "I don't know if you remember me. 3 years ago, on a rainy Thursday night on Fifth Avenue, I was standing in the street holding a premature baby, soaked to the bone, waving for help. You slowed down, looked at me, and drove away." The smile on Richard's face cracked. Something shifted in his eyes. First confusion, then recognition, then something that looked unmistakably like shame. "I became a police officer because of that night," Elena continued, her voice steady and clear. "Because I realized the world needs more people willing to stop. I decided I would be one of them." Richard Hargrove stood silent for a long moment, the noise of the gala swirling around them. Then quietly he said, "I'm sorry. I have no excuse. I'm genuinely sorry." Elena nodded once. "I'm not here for an apology, Mr. Hargrove. I'm here doing my job. But I hope the next time you see someone struggling in the rain, you remember this conversation." She turned and walked away, composed, purposeful, powerful. Richard watched her go, and for the first time in years, he felt the weight of a choice he had made without a second thought. That night, he wrote the largest donation check of his life to a non-profit, supporting single working mothers and emergency childcare. He never forgot Officer Elena Martinez, and he never drove past someone in need again. Kindness, they say, always finds its way back, sometimes as grace, sometimes as a lesson, and sometimes as a badge that shines in the light of a charity gala, worn by someone who refused to let the rain put out her fire. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness True Stories, where every story is a reminder that compassion can change the world, one moment at a time.